In my last video, we talked about the Galente elections event happening right now in EVE Online, but one thing I wasn't able to get to was the Rampant Drone Fabricator, since it needed its own video to do it justice. If you are looking for practical EVE guides and stories from the world of New Eden, you're in the right place. Welcome back everyone, I'm Lynn Rankin. If you're trying to figure out EVE Online and carve out your path in New Eden, you're where you need to be. During the Galente elections event, a new combat site was added, the Rampant Drone Fabricator. This combat site is very difficult, and while in theory it can be done solo in a very blingy setup, it is geared towards the 5-player range, performing various roles like DPS and Logi. However, you can bring as many friends as you want. Just be sure to split the reward. By the way, thank you Erst.live for a lot of the detailed information for this site, and thank you Gustav Manfred. I used their Legion fit, and they theorized that if the fit was blingier with boosters and implants, you could go further, so I decided to put a blingy version of their fit to the test. This is how the video is going to work. I'm going to explain how this combat site works, what to expect, and that it's going to become a permanent addition to wormhole space soon. And then I'm going to include my full run at the end if you want to observe, analyze, or otherwise critique my run. I'm going to start with the best advice first. Go to your overview settings and make sure that on your main PvE or general tab that you search for and enable the Fabricator drone entities so you can actually target them. The Rampant Drone Fabricator spawns in low-sec, wormhole space, and Pochven for the event. It will become only available in wormhole space once it's fully incorporated after the event. The difficulty level varies on what class of ship is used to enter the site initially. How much more difficult, it's not currently known, but the loot increases as you go into more dangerous space. At least for the event, if you are in a C1, C2, or C3 wormhole, you can expect a low amount of loot. If you are in a C4 wormhole, low sec, or Pochven, you can expect a medium amount of loot. CCP did just fix a bug that was causing the low sec sites to provide a low amount instead of a medium amount of loot. I made about 22 million ISK in loot from the site for completing 10 waves, and that was during the bug period when it was providing a low amount and not a medium amount. The last tier, if you are in a C5 or C6 wormhole, you can expect a high amount of loot. It also can drop some of the new hybrid ECM damage drones introduced in the event that are not currently available in the Capsuleer Outreach Center. I've seen videos that show around 700 mil in loot for a completed C6 level site before accounting for the dropped hybrid drones. It did require a fleet of 10 to 12 people to complete. I dropped a link to their video in the description. Here's how the site works. When you warp to the site, a 30-second timer will begin counting down. You will notice the Rampant Fabricator in the center of the site. This is what you need to destroy in order to finish the site. After the 30 seconds are up, the first wave spawns. You will want to make sure that you are tanking EM and thermal damage, and that you deal EM damage to deal the most damage while taking the least. These first waves shouldn't cause too much trouble. What you will want to do after the first wave is to shoot the Rampant Fabricator itself until it is in very low hull. We will use this to quickly end our run when we want to. Don't destroy it, just get it within the 2 to 3 shot range. That way, when you want to pull out of the site, you can quickly take care of it without having to grind through all that HP. After you clear all the drones in a wave, you will have a 20-second timer before the next wave starts. It will get more difficult with frigates and later destroyers that can jam you, then cruisers and battle cruisers that can web, and then battleships that can web or newt. It does not currently appear that the Fabricator drones do any warp disruption or scramming. Below the field, you will see several Nanoswarm suspension structures. During waves 4, 8, and 16, you will see a random 2 become vulnerable. They each have different bonuses that are applied to ships within 100 kilometers of the Rampant Fabricator. They each have Nanoswarm suspension in their name, and the first words in front of this determines what bonus you will get. Each of these provide a 20% modifier. Thermal sink, heat damage reduction, overclocker, overload bonus increase, masker, signature radius reduction, energized, capacitor capacity bonus, rapidity, ship velocity bonus, predictive, tracking speed bonus, suppressive, missile explosion radius reduction, clarifier, scan resolution bonus, patcher, local armor repair amount bonus, reflective, local shield boost amount bonus, transpatch, remote armor repair amount bonus, transreflect, remote shield boost amount. You can only choose one each time a pair of nanoswarms become vulnerable. Depending on which ones become available, it will determine if you can sustain for longer in a solo fit. During my run, I was hoping for the Patcher and the Energized nanoswarms to become available, but I wasn't so lucky and only received the Energized. The combination would have provided me a 20% buff to my capacitor capacity and a 20% buff to my local armor rep amount. I only got the capacitor one. I likely could have gone to wave 12 if I had received the other one I was hoping for. The Fabricator drones do not drop any loot or have bounties to them, and destroying the Rampant Fabricator itself will finish the site. The Fabricator only becomes vulnerable during the in-between wave seconds, the 20-second waiting period. After destroying it during this period, you can loot the Rampant Fabricator for your prize. A final note, smart bombs and micro jump field generators are disabled in this site, and after you clear the Rampant Drone Fabricator, a no cloak and no warp effect is applied when you are within 20 kilometers of the wreck. Destroy the wreck or get out of this radius. And that is the Rampant Drone Fabricator. Now, I'm going to put on my no commentary run on screen for you to watch and analyze or critique to your liking, if you wanted to see how I fared. And I have the fit I used on screen and implants and boosters I used for this fit. And again, thank you Gustav Manfred for the Legion fit. I did bling this up, and your theory that you could go further with a blinged up fit was true. Be sure to give Gustav a subscribe. Now, be sure to like this video if it helped you and you want to see more content like this in the future. Subscribe if you want to catch my future uploads, and enjoy my Rampant Drone Fabricator run. Hey, thanks for watching this video to the end. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a like so I know to create more like this one in the future, and also consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss my next upload. If you really like this video, consider using my creator codes in the description. I do receive a small kickback to keep this channel going. If you want to catch up on what's happening with the Gallente elections, you can check out this video here on screen. I want to take a moment to thank my YouTube and Patreon members for their support. Your support means the world to me. I appreciate each of you, and I couldn't do this without you. Bye-bye now.